All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 704. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's going to say, Wombat.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said we're joined by a man who also said, yeah, Wombat. Nice. No, that part I could do. Wombat.
Wombat.
Sorry.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck made a face. Shipwreck makes faces now when I do the intro, and if I look at it, it throws me for a second. And so he's doing his job. Good job.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working. The system is working. Welcome to the show, everybody. Wombat, I gave you nothing, Wombat. I'm sorry. I
know. I thought you were gonna be like, and now a man that's also going to announce 40 or 50 new games.
No, well, yeah.
I could have said something, read back the interview, and you would know exactly what I said.
Right. That's the Geoff Keighley yelling at IGN for not.
Yep. for misquoting him.
Right.
That's where we are in video game discourse. Geoff Keighley yelling at IGN.
He's got a lot of followers, Geoff Keighley.
Yeah, well, that's kind of his job.
He's got a lot of money on those exclusives to where you can't say you're going to announce 40 to 50 because then like the big players that paid money for that spot are going to be like, what? There's
more
games?
of us?
There's like,
how many more houses are you building, Jeff?
Right.
How many more pools do you need?
I like to think of it though, like he was just going to get up there and read the list of Nintendo titles for a week. Just like,
how do they think?
Here's the 50 Nintendo games you've never heard of coming out this week.
Right. I mean, that would fill up numbers. That would put the numbers on the board. That's the only way you're probably putting up those kind of numbers.
Yep.
Maybe that's maybe next year. Maybe it's more than 40 to 50. Maybe it's like 100.
I didn't read the interview, so
right. Nobody did.
I'd have
apparently.
to read the transcript to really know for sure.
We'll never know, and it's better that way.
Mm-hmm. How many do you think it is? I think it's. What do you think he said? 7.
It might be. I'm thinking he said 14 to 15 games. That's where they got 40 to 50 from.
He said,
although at what point is it like 14 to 15 isn't a range people say in conversation?
Right. He probably never mentioned any games.
Maybe he said 14 or 15 games.
He was talking about how many stories he's going to be putting on his new house. It's good. It's a big house. It's like,
does he?
A skyscraper.
Does he live in a skyscraper?
He will be after these 40 to 50 exclusives. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck and I both have headaches. So that's where we're at so far.
Not caused by Wombat, we think.
Yet.
No. I had it like all day or like for half of the day, maybe. And instead of coming up with a clever intro, I tried to lay down on my bed and take a nap, but it was...
Why didn't you
That's exactly what I was trying to do before the show.
Why not like an Advil? Did you try Advil?
I took two Tylenols, so maybe it'll kick in. I usually don't like to do that, but I
had some elderberries.
Why not? Tylenol is for headaches.
I don't get a lot of headaches, really. So usually they just go away if I get one.
So the Tylenol should totally work then. It's like, it only doesn't work if you use Tylenol all the time.
Oh, you think I have an immunity, a tolerance, Tylenol? Yeah. No, I almost never take it.
Then you should be fine.
We'll see. I'll let you know. But the nap didn't work. I can tell you that. I just lay down on my bed and I was like, first of all, I don't have enough time to really nap.
But if you take too much Tylenol, your kidneys fall out. So don't take too much Tylenol.
I did when I had my kidney stone. I took a lot of. Once I ran out of my codeine, I guess it was, or the oxy, whatever it was.
OxyContin, yeah.
I ran out of that pretty quick. And once I ran out of that, they're just like, no, we're not giving you any more. Just you're taking Tylenol. So I would take a lot of Tylenol throughout the day. It does work if you take a lot. Anyway, how was your camping trip, Wombat?
It's over. So that's the best part.
It was cold. I remember that.
It was 36 degrees at night when I went camping. That is very cold to be essentially outside asleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I honestly don't recommend it. The air mattress totally worked. Came in, it was perfect. It kept me nice and off the ground. That's like the big key. I'm like the only dad there that isn't former military, and they were giving me all their tips for sleeping outside.
Yeah.
In the cold.
Have a gun.
They were like the
big gun.
A gun. The trick is to stay off the ground because all your heat's going to escape and go into the frozen ground. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I had my big air mattress, and I slept in thermal pants, sweatpants, 2 pairs of socks, a t-shirt, a thermal shirt, a sweatshirt,
A lot.
and the sleeping bag. And when I'm in the sleeping bag and all bundled up, I'm fine. But if you like roll over a little bit and like sticking your arm out of the sleeping bag, after about 10 seconds, your arm starts to freeze and you got to put it back. You got to like reposition yourself. So I slept maybe 20 minutes.
I read the comments about it, and they said that you needed to have an insulated pad or something. That the air mattress is not enough.
It's an outdoor grade air mattress.
Right, but they were saying, the people in the comments were saying that you need some sort of. I this is useless information for me.
He does this once a year.
Right, right. Just suck it up and be cold.
Sleeping bag.
Oh,
what character was on your sleeping bag?
Nothing. It is bright purple though. I do have a bright purple sleeping bag. So
that's good if the police need to find you later.
Yeah.
Stand out. Or if you want the other dads to make fun of you, it's good for that.
Exactly. Too. So it was fairly eventful. So one of the kids got injured. Luckily, not mine. There was a trip to a hospital. Luckily, not me. Yeah. It was like crazy.
This sounds like every one of these like Boy Scout camping trips. There's always some kid who gets sick or runs into a tree or something.
And I will say he's fine. It's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. But it was definitely scary. So I'm glad he's okay. But yeah, it was like it was a very interesting camping trip.
Did anybody fall into the Doody hole?
No one. Did I send you the picture of the bathroom?
I laughed so hard when Wombat sent the picture of the bathroom.
Okay,
it was too like. They didn't have the toilets didn't have covers on them. They had a seat though, and they had a roof and like a wall, but it wasn't totally. It was like outside. Clearly,
it was an outhouse. It was a traditional outhouse.
And Wombat sent the picture, and the caption was "I'm glamping," and I did laugh when I said that, and I showed it to my family, and they laughed too.
At night, because it was the only time I could really get a good lighting down the hole. We went and shone the flashlight down the hole.
Wait, what?
Doody hole.
Why'd you want to look in the Doody hole?
Wait,
oh my God!
Doing?
If I told you how deep it was, it's like 20 feet down in that hole in the scary toilet. If you fell in there, you're never coming out. Like there's no way to get you out. You're just trapped in the Doody forever.
But
there's not like a rope. There's not like a rope they have.
I don't think so. No,
like, usually you have like a plunger. You just have a rope.
You fall in. Only one kid pooped in that toilet, and he comes out. He goes, "I pooped in the scary toilet."
Whose idea was it to look into the Doody hole with a flashlight?
Oh, it was everyone wanted to look in the Doody hole with a flashlight.
Who was the primary idea?
Oh, me.
Okay,
me.
Thank you.
Yeah, me. Of course. Yeah,
hey,
I'm
kids,
proud.
don't you want to look into the Doody?
No,
I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't want to go near the Doody hole. I don't even want to.
So when you go like in a porta potty, are you like glancing into there too, or what? Like,
no.
There's no mystery there.
There's no mystery there. This was like a mystery Doody hole. This is a completely different.
Did you post that picture on Twitter?
I didn't, but I could. I can send that.
Shanafan likes that for the archives.
Yeah, no, it's a good archive one.
In the videos.
But we came home. This is what I did that night. I came home. I was so exhausted. I was not going anywhere for the remainder of the day, nor did anyone ask me to do anything. I should add. I was like sick from just like not sleeping and being out in the cold. And at about 9 o'clock, I took some ZQuil.
Okay.
And just put my head on the pillow, and I slept for like 14 hours.
Wow.
And that was it. And then I was fine.
14 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I did like a good 14 hours.
I can't do that these days. Like even like in my best, I have to be sick.
You know, I would, yeah. That's a special occasion kind of sleep. It's not it's not an everyday thing, and it's not something I want to do on a regular basis. But in that situation, you need to get yourself back to normal. Right.
I thought you were going to say the first thing you did after you came home was get a flashlight and look down your toilet. But...
And that's, no, actually the first thing I did was make a cup of coffee.
Right. All right. Well,
I made record time coming home from Alpine, New Jersey, though.
Couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there.
Oh my God. I think like there's still a smoke cloud shaped like my car.
It's like Horizon 5. Isn't that one of the missions in Horizon 5, I think?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the fuck out of the campsite. This thing sucks. Oh my God. I'm going to sleep for 14 hours.
Hello, Stuart. That's what my woman sounds like. Hello, Stuart. You need to get out of the campsite.
David. David. I have to go to the next event, David. I had to change the name of that lady to something else other than my name because it was just bugging the shit out of me.
I haven't figured out how to go back and change my voice because I accidentally set it up as a female. Yeah, that's exactly how she said it.
Like Dr. Who.
But my character voice is also female.
Yes.
Because when I was selecting it, like there was like a delay or something, and I'm like,
you could do it again. You do it at your house.
It's easy.
I don't have a house yet.
Well, then when you get a house, you could do it.
Yeah. I'm stuck right now.
Right.
Rabbit.
Yes. See what happened?
Rabbit.
I made a woman in Forza with, robot arms and a robot leg. And then she started calling me David. I didn't even select it. She just started calling me David. I'm like, now you're fucking up my whole thing.
Yeah, it was a little creepy the first time that happens, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like, because they picked it up. I
know, but
well, I know that,
but it fucked up my whole pronouns and stuff. I had this whole thing going. Not really, but it did fuck me up, and then I wound up just changing my character to look like me because I'm like, well, if you're gonna call me David, I'm just gonna make you look like. And then I decided I'm just gonna make myself Jeff Bezos because we look the same anyway.
Are there beards in this game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I couldn't find one. I hate the way my guy's face is. I hate.
I can't win one in a spin or anything.
Thank God.
So.
No, I hope not.
Well, let's save this for later. I have many thoughts.
Don't even mention that. Don't give them any ideas. Yes, that's a good idea, Wombat. I agree.
I have many thoughts on this.
On Forza, yeah, I played a lot of Forza for sure. I do have an update, an Orange Theory update. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as I mentioned that I hadn't seen this dude in 3 months that I was going to see him very quickly. And I told Mrs. Cheevy, as soon as I said it on the CAGcast, I told her just what I said. And sure enough, he was in Monday or Tuesday's class. Greg, I don't know. He didn't wear a tracker on his arm, so his name didn't show up on the scoreboard. So I still don't know his name.
That's intentional.
He doesn't want people talking to him.
He doesn't want. It's like, oh no, if I don't take the tracker, he won't know how to find me.
And not only that, people can't see his stats, like what he's doing. Maybe look, you may be right. Actually, I know you're joking, but that may be something that people do. I wouldn't be that surprised, but probably not him. Anyway, so I saw and I'm like, oh, good. So after class, I was hoping that I could catch him, and sure enough, I caught him.
Hopefully it was at a urinal and you went to the urinal next to him.
Just on the bench.
On the back. Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, a nice cock, by the way.
Girthy.
No, this was just sitting on the bench. He was sitting on the bench after the class. And I just said, hey, haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, yeah, I've just been coming at different times. Basically, he's coming, and I go at the same time.
When are you coming again?
You will never see him again.
No. I always go at the exact same time because I like that time because there's not that many people and it's convenient for me. So I always go the exact same time. Different days, but the same time. And I guess he's
definitely was doing a telehealth with his therapist on the way back. And he was there. And he talked to me. No, I'm not making him up. He's a real person.
Right. No, he actually, I know he doesn't think anything bad about me because when I said, haven't seen you in a while, and he said he's going to different classes, the first thing he said after that was he was asking me about this class that we just took. He's like, oh, did you make it all the way up the hill without stopping? So he engaged me to see how I liked the class and how I was doing.
That sounds like politeness.
I didn't ask him about his rowing at all. I didn't feel like I should talk to him about the rowing in this first
good intuition.
No, I just let's not mention the rowing. Let's just go with what he wants to talk about.
This is not the time we talk about rowing. We did no rowing. There was no rowing going on. This was not the time to bring up rowing.
I didn't. We talked about the running up the severe inclines. And that was it. And then talked about both of our lacks of athletic prowess, and then said goodbye. So it was good, successful, very not awkward and good. And I will check out his rowing next time and report back to everybody and videotape it. No, that's a joke.
Yes.
That's a joke. I would never do that. But let's move on to some show feedback and get this
Sure.
party really started.
This one is from Sinful Fate, who has to say, Wombat, I think the game you were thinking of was Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects. This was an EA Marvel fighting game that came out back in 2005. This is in reference to me talking about a canceled Marvel fighting game that EA made. Now, I was both right and wrong. I was confusing it with this game that I thought actually did not come out, but it
Have
did.
you forgotten about the Imperfects?
Yeah, exactly. And
by the way, just for everybody else, any game developer or publisher, don't put like the word imperfect in your game title or like movie or anything that's going to get it reviewed. Just it's like
also
or bad. Don't put bad in the title either.
If you're making a game and you have access to Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Wolverine,
right?
Don't be like, and we can make characters that are just as good as those, because you can't.
Fire guy.
Yeah, you just can't. You're not going to. Don't try it. It's 100% not worth the effort.
Cheaper though, maybe.
Cheaper, not even
Maybe
because
not.
you're already paying for Spider-Man.
You did the hard part already.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
just say
But
just say
maybe
like
Inchworm guy was going to catch on.
exactly like even if you were like, well, who else can we use from the Marvel universe that's like maybe C-list or D-list here? Those are still going to be better than whatever crappy idea you're going to come up with, and this game is the proof of that.
Shit seeker.
Yeah, exactly. The duty hole.
He can seek out any feces anywhere. Doesn't matter how deep. Doesn't matter what it's behind. His duty vision.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's
but
well, there's more here.
There was, by the way, there was a game that EA was working on after this. So there was another Marvel fighting game.
Fall of the Imperfects.
Exactly. That did not get released. There were leaked screens from.
Okay.
Years later.
Got
So I was both right and wrong. Cheapy, will you be jumping back into Warzone when they release the new map? And have you watched the final season of Lucifer? He also asks.
Probably not, because I'm getting into Apex now, and I can't be shitty at both of these games. I got to pick one game and be shitty at that.
Stick a lane.
I got to pick exactly. Choose the lane, and I think Apex. I'm into Apex now. I feel like I just have a better chance of success with Apex, and I'm going to stick. And the hard drive space is at a premium, and we know Call of Duty is a fucking disaster when it comes to that. And I have not. We sort of bailed on Lucifer. Like, it wasn't really anything. The show wasn't getting bad or anything. It's very much like a traditional television drama. It follows the standard like formats and tropes of shows like that, even though it is unique in ways. And we just sort of got tired of watching it and moved on to other things. But it's a good show, and I don't know how it finished off, but there's just too many things to watch. We just moved on. We watched plenty of it. Sometimes that happens. You watch enough seasons of it, and you're like, yeah, I get it. It's good. Let's try out this other stuff. I have an Apple review here. I've been checking in on the reviews. Well, they get emailed to me from one of our stat tracking services.
That's convenient.
It's convenient when they're good. They only send you one usually, like whatever the last one is. So sometimes they're good and sometimes they're horrible. And they're never in between, like I told you, except for the one guy who made a totally in between one because I mentioned it on the show. But this was a good one. This is from Healthy Jim, and you can tell he's healthy just when you read this very normal-sized and healthy-sounding review. He says, great podcast that has adjusted to life as we all grow older with him. As a gamer with a 9-year-old stepdaughter, I appreciate listening to a gamer podcast that understands the family side of life and how that mixes into gaming life. The podcast can definitely get a little science-y on occasions, thanks to what's going on in the world, but that's life in 2021. Mostly just leaving this 5-star review to take away one of those 1-star political crazy reviewers. Eat it, crazies. Great podcast, guys. Keep it up. At this point, I think we have so many reviews in the bank that it would take a lot of crazies to tank our reviews.
Don't.
But also,
don't
no. I'm the step 2 is I could give 2 shits what our reviews are. Like really, like it's something to read and kill some time on the show. And when they're well written like this, I like to read them, and sometimes when they're also very poorly written, I like to read them for similar but alternate reasons. So I do not care. Like, it does not, when I see a negative one, it does not like ruin my day. People, like, please, like, trust me, I do not care. Go nuts. Fucking go nuts and see if you can circumvent Apple's defenses. Well, maybe I'm not allowed to say that. Don't do that. That's probably illegal. You probably should not do anything illegal.